Is the i9 9900K and the 5600 XT a good match? Yeah, that seems pretty good.
All right, let's talk about Intel, because we're building an Intel system, and the fact that Intel is kind of like, the budget king right now. I mean, honestly, like, they have, like, the 3100, and that stuff exists, but right now, everything, like, even starting from the low end to, like, the mid-range, like, Intel's kind of, like, the go-to option. Like, if you're talking, I'll start off with the i3s, the 10100 versus the 3100, performs a little bit better than the 3100 in most use cases, and it's readily available. Stock does vary a little bit now, because, maybe we're buying all of them, I don't know, but those are, like, the go-to budget CPU right now. And
they have gone up a little bit. They're, like, 122 now. Oh, but get this, dude. I was curious, so I looked it up. Mm-hmm. The 10100 performs on par with the Ryzen 2600.
Nice.
Which I was like, wow. Like, even when it came to the, the octa-core testing, I think the Ryzen 2600 literally had a couple more points, but for single core, dual core, and quad core performance, the i3 beat the 2600 in every single test. But then I know all of you out there are gonna be like, Intel sucks now.
Yeah. But like,
don't get me wrong, I'm with you, but you got to look at the factual numbers, the statistics.
Yes, everyone wants to go AMD right now, which is fine. I mean, if you want to wait and buy AMD stuff, go for it. We've been big proponents of the AMD. We love what they have for the money, but right now, I mean, the i3 and then even the i5-10400, that's been like our go-to for like higher-end custom builds, because that CPU can handle pretty much any GPU you throw in it. Doesn't really need much of an extra like custom cooler or anything. Yeah, that's the only downside I do think AMD has over Intel is the fact that their stock coolers are a little bit nicer looking, but for a little bit of money you can get something a little bit better to just throw on top of it, but you don't need it. And the 10400 performs pretty close to a 3600 and is really easy to find. I know the 3600 is like $200 regularly now, and the 10400 is like $179.
I wouldn't even be surprised if the 10400 is like slightly better than the 3600.
Yeah.
The non-X, obviously.
But yeah, and then you also get support if you get a good B460 board for 11 gen, which I don't know if that really means that much right now, because 11 gen looks kind of crazy at the point. But right now, because I think like the 11900K, even though it's just an 8-core, it also is like, it's looking like 9590 vibes, where they're like trying to push the last absolute ounce out of an old architecture, and it kind of is like stupid to cool and everything, so we'll see where that goes, if that actually is a selling point anymore.
Who knows? I mean, if they manage to make the 11 gen with budget CPUs, like let's say an 11100, and it outperforms the 10100s like the same price, I'd be sold on it. Unless AMD sometime soon comes out with a new 3100 killer that's like the same price, then I would always go with the 10100 or the 11100.
Is B450 future proof? I mean, not really anymore. I would say a B550 board is your best bet.
B450 is still a great board, but I mean,
only downside, because one CPU were like, those are already gone up in price again, by the way. The 1600 AS that came back in stock the other day. Those are the only issue with those is you have to really go B450 or A320. It doesn't really natively support on B550.
First gen.
So, but I mean, if you get a good B450 board, you at least have support for 5000 series, but that's about it. I don't expect to get support after that.
I mean, who knows? Even after that, who knows? The CPUs could be a whole new freaking shape.
Yeah. Oh, I got a Tozy Bro stream. Dark. Appreciate it, buddy.
Is the i7 nicer at K or the i7 10, the thing, 1000K?
I'm assuming 10700.
Where it go with the 3090, just wondering. Yeah, I mean, either one of those would be fun.
Yeah.
I finally caught a Toasty Roast stream. Dude, look at you.
I appreciate